Time for a Fireside Chat with Wild and Free Interior Alaska.
Good evening.
Hi, welcome back to a Fireside Chat. It's been quite a while since we've done this, but we wanted to kind of share some of the things that we've done since last winter through summer, kind of like a little recap, and kind of just talk about how this has all come together and where we're at right now. You get started.
Yeah, so it's been a year really since we completed the cabin. And while it was, had a roof on it this time last year, it wasn't nearly what it is today.
Complete.
But really, our last few times out here, it's been more relaxing, enjoying it than it has been. We have this major project we have to get done, and it's taking longer than we thought, and it's harder than we thought, and we're just, working around the clock. It's kind of been, we'll do firewood for a little bit, or we'll do the small project, and not so much the overwhelming, we have to get this done. So how do you feel about that?
That has been an adjustment. We're used to coming out here, as if you've been following us, we come out, as many weekends as we can. And so it's been quite an adjustment to not have such a big task that's just kind of like weighing on us, and we're thinking about all week and talking about, and okay, this is what we have to accomplish when we get out there. And now we kind of talk about like, well, what do we need to work on? What should we try to do? Or maybe we're just gonna relax and enjoy things and just do small things. And it's been really nice. It's probably not as exciting for you to see, but it's really relieving for us to get to this point right now.
Yeah, and I will acknowledge your point. We fully recognize it. It would have been more enjoyable to get the type of quality content we made later on in the early stages, and we had talked about that. But one, we didn't really know how to do it at that point in time. We also didn't really know how to build a cabin. We still kind of don't. But
it wasn't on the forefront of our
minds.
Like it was it
was a race to the finish to finish the cabin anyway. I mean, we were putting the roof on and snow on it. And if we were taking the time to stop and film and talk to the camera and everything else, we never would have done it. We never would have made it in time.
Yep.
With that, I think we can both agree if we did it again, we would do it on a longer timetable. Mm-hmm. Because we were clearing the land, the foundation, building the whole cabin all in one summer, which in interior Alaska, 70 miles from the Arctic Circle, summer is not that long.
It's like 3 months.
Especially when you're trying to only get it done on weekends because you work a real job. It was a lot. I think if we did it again, which we have discussed, and if we did it again, we would film it in its entirety.
Longer and
it wouldn't be as big. It would be much more of a recreational cabin than like we're gonna live in this thing.
And maybe someday we'll do that because we'd like to add guest quarters. It's fine. We've had guests come out here. We can accommodate quite a few. This futon.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 adults and 3 children.
Yeah, we've had 5 adults and 3 kids so far out here. We were fine for a few days. And then
it was tight.
You start feeling a little cramped.
You push the dining room table to the side.
And you put a queen cot there, and you put a cot up in between the kids' twin beds, and this folds out into a bed, and then we have our bed. It's like you can do it, but it just starts to feel a little cramped. So ideally, we'd like to maybe eventually work on guest quarters, but that's like forever down the road. Next year, honestly, our main priority should be sanding and staining our cabin. But to be honest, I am not looking forward to that at all. I just don't know how we're going to accomplish that. It's just, I feel like every method we've tried is just all backfiring, and I just don't know what to do, but we need to do it. So it's just like that's next year's big project. That's really important, but I just don't know.
we tried cordless, just test sanding to get an idea of how long it's going to take, right? We tried test sanding with cordless drills, and that's not sustainable at all. I mean, in one cordless drill battery that, with a generator or with solar takes us 20 minutes to recharge. I mean, we didn't get very far.
We got 10 minutes in, 20 minutes to recharge it. Like, it's not sustainable.
And if we could sandblast or bead blast or something like that, or even
water.
Pressure washer, but we're completely off grid. Any water, we're gravity feeding. Sandblasters, we're running with a generator and things like that. I think if we get a bunch of volunteers with suitcase generators and sanders, I think that's the best we can get. And I think just go one side at a time, because once you sand it, you want to stain it pretty much immediately. So you want to just everyone work on one side, top to bottom, get the whole thing done. Next day, stain it. See what we can do, I guess. But
we'll provide some beer and brats. Now, everybody's in the area, you got a generator and a sander, and you want to come help next summer, you let us know. But then another project will be hopefully a sauna or a shed. Probably the shed first, or both. So those will be things that we'll hopefully work on. But as far as the winter goes, coming into winter, now that we have snowfall, this is our last wheeled vehicle adventure out here. Even that is a little questionable. And we're supposed to get snow all day long tomorrow, so we don't know what conditions we're going to be trying to leave here in. So that's a whole nother scenario, which might make for some good content for you. And I hope not, but we'll see what that holds. So this is our last wheeled vehicle. Then we have to wait for a little while
today is October 10th.
11th.
11th.
Yeah, and we have to wait for
3 inches, 4 inches of snow.
Yeah, there's definitely more here at the cabin too than there was on areas coming out, but it gets wind blown and it dumps in.
Later than usual. Mm-hmm. We weren't out here all too often this fall.
We had a lot going on.
If you recall, last fall, September 2nd was the first snow.
Yeah.
So it didn't stick.
No, it did not. And then it was early October that there was significant snowfall. We tried to come out this time last year, wheeled vehicle, and couldn't. So then we have to wait in between a few weeks for more significant snowfall for the snow machines to make it. Because there's so many rocks, as you've seen, if you've seen us filming our road. So we have to wait for enough coverage over kind of a lot of that rock because we don't want to tear them up. So we kind of get in this little awkward phase where we have to wait a little while to get back out here, but it does give us time to take care of stuff at home and prep for the oncoming winter there. We did have snow there this week as well, so we knew we would have more snow out here. So winter is really just going to be looking at mostly enjoying ourselves and finding this. I think
last winter, right? So last summer we spent all summer building the cabin, and then last winter was all interior, doing the cabinets and the floor, and the loft and the railings and all that stuff.
And every little thing we've added.
But this winter, I mean, I feel like the interior is really pretty good.
The interior is pretty much like home at this point. We have window now behind us. We got it trimmed and framed thanks to our his cousin.
What do we even have?
A TV.
A TV.
And we have a TV out here.
Television set.
Yeah, so
we've only watched one movie.
But we have
Top Gun.
Top Gun. It was a trial run, right? Because we don't have electricity out here. And I ran that solely off our battery bank, which you've seen. Running Starlink to stream it because it's a smart TV. We didn't bring a DVD player out because it would take even more electricity. So we ran the TV with watching Netflix. It wasn't that much power draw. I mean,
we couldn't sustain
it with solar for sure. But what we really want to do is spend a Christmas out here in our our Christmas tradition is Christmas Eve we watch It's a Wonderful Life. So that's what I was really testing it for is could we watch that out here? And we could always run the generator, but I prefer not to if we don't have to.
But it worked.
Yeah.
I wasn't here for it. I was out hunting for caribou with my dad. But they said it was a really cool experience. So I have yet to see it all happen. But it is kind of cool that we have that, and it really was for if we can spend Christmas out here. I think that would be really cool. To decorate inside a little bit for the Christmas season. And
We got Larry outside.
we have Larry outside and give him his lights.
Bruce might have taken a dump on it today.
Oh no.
Boost.
So we have our little tree Larry that we've never took down because they
It's
fell
so
in love with
cool.
him. And so we're raising him up to be our Christmas tree out
Yep.
front that we can decorate each year. And we did last year, we put lights on him.
And when I named him the first name that popped up in my head, Larry.
Larry. So if you ever hear us talk about Larry, it's our Christmas tree out front in the yard. So yeah, it's nice to have like some of these capabilities and comforts of home. And did we ever imagine that it would be anything like this?
Probably not.
No.
I'm, we started this whole thing, this whole channel, this whole adventure really, going to public use cabins, and we really enjoyed it. But with those, right, you go for 2 nights, 1 night. You gotta haul all your crap with you, your lights, your food,
Your sleep
pots
gear.
and pans, your blankets,
everything.
your pillows, everything, and then you have to haul it all back out. And well, some of those public use cabins, I'm not gonna give their names because they're secret spots that we can't divulge. They're absolutely amazing. I mean, some of them are on lakes and they got views of the mountains and everything else. But it's so nice that like you have your place here, right? You don't have
You don't
to
have to
bring
bring.
anything. We bring perishable foods and beer
Pretty much
for
it.
the most part, and that's
And
about
an
it.
extra emergency change of clothes, even though we now have those also established
Yeah,
here.
we have
So,
we do have a
A dresser full of clothes and things
Yeah,
that we
it's-
could survive
what do they call it,
with.
like a tough box full of
Oh, and that too, yep. A whole bunch of emergencies.
in case the cabin burned down and we're out here and it's 30 below, we have cold winter gear, sleeping bags, fire starters, food, stuff like that outside the cabin,
Mhm.
enough to make it back.
Yeah, we don't really need to bring out a lot because we've really settled ourselves. But we initially thought building this, where we're going with this, is kind of replicating our experiences at the public use cabin, is what we thought initially. And then, we chose this size because we wanted to make it, we didn't want to regret it being too small because public use cabins are nowhere near this size. And then once we started getting into it, we found that it was really nice, and that was like an added benefit. We knew it would be to have your stuff here, but then to like have comforts of home here, have, everything that you might possibly really end up needing. So you don't have to haul out a whole lot. And that's just been amazing. And it makes the experience so much better. But did I ever think it would have the comforts of home? Did I think that we would have Starlink out here?
And
No.
Starlink was a game changer. for
Game
sure.
changer. Once they came out with that mini, because that's all we can get for internet at our house in Fairbanks.
Starlink. We lived
It's
for
Starlink.
3 years without internet.
Nothing. No
I'm
TV.
talking sending a picture message was like in
You'd
the
have
window.
to put it in the window.
you
You
try
have
3,
one
4
bar
times.
of like 4G.
Um,
Terrible.
so we really got used to not having TV and internet and
Internet,
everything like
yeah.
that. But then Starlink came out, and we got Starlink at our house, and at first it was really rough.
Yeah, it wasn't much
satellite
better.
goes over, and then you don't have internet for 3 minutes. So if you're trying to do something, it was frustrating.
Intermittent. Like you'd have to like watch for the satellite to come and plan. Okay, it's coming. Load whatever you need to or send whatever you need to. That one for messages, whatever. And we did that for like 9 months probably.
At least, yeah.
At least before they started to become more regular, and then we're like, oh wow, the first day we could watch something was like, we could stream something was crazy, and it's only gotten better, and then
much
they came out
better, and then they
so
came
much
out with the
better.
mini,
And that was like, well,
you could
why
add
not?
on. You could add on the mini to your regular Starlink plan for $30 a month. Really affordable. It's 50 gigabyte limited, but if you go over 50, it's $1 a gigabyte. It's really affordable. So we brought it out here, and it's a tear, right? I really like coming out here to disconnect from, social media and all that crap. But on the other side, it is really convenient to still be able to communicate with the outside world or stream Top Gun.
Oh yeah.
Really easily. I mean, 10 years ago, 5 years ago, that wasn't
Would be
a possibility at all. You might be able to set up a ham radio here and reach Fairbanks and maybe be able to talk to somebody, but now you can talk all over the world with Starlink. It's super easy.
Yeah, it's just easy to check in and let people know. Because getting out here is not necessarily easy. It can be very treacherous. Was today. So for the family that's watching this that we haven't told you, it was treacherous, but we made it. We're here alive.
It wasn't even the trail. It was the highway. The highway after it turns to dirt.
Terrible.
Because we're in that, it's above freezing during the day, below freezing at night, and the car is driving over the road. It packs the snow down, then the snow melts during the day, freezes into ice. It
was a glare ice. It was just like if you were just driving on like an ice rink for a period of time. And it turns. We don't have guardrails in much of the area, so it's just a complete drop off, right? Like it's pretty scary. It's not like the ditch is just a big drop off. So you have to be really careful. Even when you're being careful, you just never know. I had an earlier incident on the first snowfall driving on our paved roads. You just never know, And so being able, it's always peace of mind for our family when we make it out here, even when we were just using the inReach to let them know. But it's pretty convenient now that we can like hook up and
send them pictures.
Send them a picture like, hey, we're actually here, proof we made it, we're fine, all right. And it's nice, but we don't have it on all the time.
No, normally in the morning, at night.
That's about it. So we still try to disconnect, and it's that thing, or like coming out here with not being connected is also really nice. So it's so nice to have the option though. And like it's just things have come a long ways. The battery packs we have, the Goal Zero Yetis, they're doing amazing. Solar is impressing us. Starlink's blowing us away. We just have now like the comforts, and I didn't think I'd be sitting here saying like we can be connected to the outer world from our cabin that's so remote in the middle of nowhere. We don't have running water, we don't have electricity, but somehow we have internet
and television.
You
could choose to watch the Titanic or have a fire outside in a fire pit.
Yeah.
You could watch a long movie like the Titanic or have a fire.
Yep. And last time out here we had a nice fire, didn't we?
Mhm.
Yeah. So it's just nice having those options. I think you're right. I think that sums it up perfectly.
Yeah. If you're feeling lazy and you don't want to really have a fire because it's warm enough, you could go find Titanic and watch a long movie.
Yeah.
That might drain
that might. I don't know if it would make
Good
it
thing
through
we
that.
have popcorn though.
And popcorn. We do have popcorn. You're right. We can have movie night out here.
Mhm.
So yeah, I think our winner, what we're getting at, is going to be hopefully more relaxing.
Yeah.
I can't really think of like any big projects in here.
My only main
so far.
goal for the winter is I want to spend my first week out here. 1 week straight out here. And we have our shower for the summer, and that might get interesting in the winter, taking a shower. I know we've talked about building a shower somewhere. Maybe we will. But 1 week straight out here, I think that'll be a great test of, can you do this long term? Also, I know that not everyone's going to be a fan of this, but running a trap line out here, almost no one comes out here in the winter. Last winter, there were very few people the entire winter long, which in Alaska is over half the year, that came out here other than us. I would like to run a trap line, see how successful I can be. It also can be a great money maker, right? And could we do that to sustain financial things long term?
Yep.
I've kind of messed around with trapping in the past, nothing super serious. I've never caught a rabbit in a snare, that was it. I've never caught like a big game animal in a leg hold, but the plan would be to we cut the trail down to the creek. I think I would run to the creek and then run a trap line along the creek, maybe catching stuff down there. I don't know.
We had a fox come down
Yeah.
our trail today, or since last week. So there's tons of fox prints everywhere. There's
Lots
wolves
of
up
lynx,
here. There's
lots-
lynx.
Yeah.
We aren't gonna catch a caribou in a track, but we did have caribou on our cameras captured about a month ago. Came through and were eaten. So that's really cool, and we'll get those guys towards the end of their migration, because that's what they do here. But like we have a decent amount of wildlife. We also saw owl. We've seen an owl out here, but we saw owl.
I don't know if it was an owl.
Probably.
Definitely bird prints in the snow, and you
Yeah.
can see the
Wings where it like swooped
on the
down.
snow, where
and
it,
then
like, it probably dropped down to pick up a little hole.
But we've seen them.
something.
We're not gonna catch them in a trap, but I'm just saying what we've seen out here. Like there's plenty of stuff that keeps these other predators out here. Wolves are actually a pretty big problem. We've definitely seen wolf tracks, but we've not heard them, which is
No.
weird. But we can come across them kind of somewhat regularly on our snow machine rides out. We'll
I
see
think
them.
lynx might be more kind of.
And we definitely seen
lynx
lynx.
go in cycles, but
And the hare, like there's tons of hares out here too.
I don't know about tons.
They're definitely
we're at
out
pretty
here.
high elevation.
You see their little hoppy
They
tracks.
also go through cycles, but
They do. But yeah, there's some stuff out here, so maybe try that out and see. And we really need like a good length of time out here to get those set, to be checking them daily and see what comes across. So that's a goal. We're really just trying to like enjoy and live life out here and be together. And
Yeah.
what do you boys like doing when you come out here? What do you think now that it's like
we're not
finished
working
inside
yet.
and we're not working all the time?
It's great. Great.
Shooting guns.
Oh yeah, that is
Can't
fun.
say that on YouTube. What else? That's it, apparently.
Well,
Do
I
you play
do like
games?
the upstairs, the big amount of game collections, my
Boy.
bed, yeah, the toys,
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys have like a whole setup up there. You have tons of toys.
Yeah.
the amount of tools like a Pulaski.
And
like to
working
dig around
outside with
it.
all the tools.
Playing with all the stuff. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Got a lot to play around with out here. Do you like being able to...
Drone.
The
drone.
Yeah, that's fun.
Mm-hmm.
The drone's pretty cool to just... check
After
out.
this video, I'll show you the pictures I took today.
It's pretty cool to just check out what's going on more than our eyes can see. So that's pretty neat, huh?
The bird's eye view.
Yeah. Bird's eye view.
And then you could fly it down to the creek.
Nope.
Sometimes you could see the unfinished neighbor's cabin that doesn't seem like it ever gets finished.
Oh, they just have like a platform
Yeah,
and an
yeah,
outhouse.
yeah.
They just go out there to hunt if they even make it out there for the year and they're
Yeah.
ways away. Yeah.
Well, think that's good enough.
Anything else to add? You want to show what you've been working on out here?
Been crocheting for quite a bit now. This is just something that I made really quickly. I'm making so it's like a stick, and you hang these down from the stick.
Making a decoration.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to be selling them at a school. Is holding a fundraiser for the school where all kids are going to be they can have a table, a craft fair, but it's
Not
only
all
kids.
It's a bazaar.
Right, it's a bazaar. It's only kids made items that they're selling, and they have to do it all, and they're the business person. And if a parent is helping, they're an employee, and we have to be directed and cannot tell them what to do. So this is all his idea. And what are you going to be selling?
Eggs, just eggs.
Eggs from our chickens. So
I could tell you where to go if you'd like to come down and shop.
no, it's okay, bud, because I don't think that most people are going to be around here. But
I'm just your employee, but the FDA might have a problem with that.
he can do what he wants. He's a kid. So he's been
Wow.
working on crocheting out here.
Yeah,
I
I'm
would
making
put you
a couple
guys
other
to be
things.
the top people since you're the oldest.
Top employers. Am
Top
I
people, bosses.
top people, bosses? Okay, deal. But yeah, so they're finding things to
I've
do.
crocheted
And
quite a lot.
you have crocheted quite a lot.
Well, what a
and
great place to do it.
exactly, like in the cabin,
And I got
crocheting.
some glue.
And so that's kind of things that we're like working on, is just kicking back and doing those projects that we're too busy in the normal life. Because if we're home, you're always gonna find something else to work on. And now we can finally come out here and maybe not work on something other than those little projects that we want to accomplish and those
Mom?
crafts and things.
What if I tell them to choose? Tell them, do they like winter or summer left to drop it in the comment.
You can ask them.
If you if you like type winter if you like winter best. Type summer if you like summer best in the comments.
So drop it in the comments below if you're a bigger fan of summer or winter.
You can also add why the reasons you like summer.
And you can provide a reason, because he's
Or
curious to
reasons.
know. Or reasons.
You could add 700 reasons if you have that many reasons.
So fill us in. Let us know what you like. Before we go, I'll ask you, what do you like better, summer or winter?
I like the winter.
Winter.
Really fun.
Winter.
Snow
Winter.
machining. It's just fun.
I'll also say winter. However, I'll challenge their winners with saying, in the winter when we get out here and it's 8 o'clock and it's dark and snowing and we might get lost and stuck on snow machines. It's cold. Then it doesn't seem like it's your favorite season.
No, but they're good sports.
That goes against me too, right? Because I get frustrated and I get angry.
But they're very good sports
But
about
they
it. They'll be like, I'm cold. Could you
but
help us get there?
I truly enjoy the challenge. Many a times in the winter, we get to the side of the highway where we start our trail. You get out of the truck and it's 20 below and 25 mile an hour winds.
Brutal.
And you're like, what am I doing here again? Like,
Why did we decide this was a good idea?
Hawaii is 75 degrees right now.
Yeah, and that's like majority of our winter. So while they all love winter, I love summer.
It's pretty
I
good.
love the punishment. But
I think our summers aren't always the most ideal. They
It's
can
pretty
really
good.
fluctuate, but I love summer, but I don't hate winter. So
Yeah. I like
once I get past
me
the being cold and acclimate again, I'm like, all right, here we are. We're doing this, and it becomes routine. But there's always a little bit of that, here we go again
blueberries.
for me.
Well, if you're counting no school, then I like summer better.
Well, I think just
Yeah,
coming out here and doing
that's
stuff.
how I like summer better.
And on that bombshell, it's time to end. Good night. Thanks for watching.
Make sure to subscribe.